There is someone in your life right now who smiles at you and secretly hopes you fail. They might be a colleague, a friend, someone in your own family. They won't say it, they can't say it, because they don't fully understand it themselves. What they feel isn't hatred. It's something older and more primal than that. Psychologists have a name for it, and the behavior it produces is precise, recognizable, and almost always invisible to the person it's aimed at. You've probably already felt it without knowing what you were feeling. A comment that landed wrong. A silence that felt loaded. A moment where someone's reaction to your good news seemed just slightly off. Here's the question you need to sit with. What if the resistance you've been experiencing isn't about what you're doing wrong, but about how right you're becoming? Welcome to TheMindShadow. This channel exists for one reason: to give you the frameworks that most people never get access to. The hidden mechanics of human behavior. The psychology behind why people do what they do, especially when they don't want you to notice. Today's subject is one of the most practically useful things you can internalize, because once you can recognize when someone feels threatened by you, everything changes. You stop internalizing their behavior as your problem. You stop shrinking to make them comfortable. You start seeing the social landscape as it actually is, not as it's performed. There are 5 signs. Each one is backed by psychology. Each one is more subtle than the last. And by the end, there's a reframe waiting for you that will fundamentally shift how you understand every difficult relationship in your life. The first sign is the subtle dismissal, and it comes in a specific form. When you share something positive, a win, an idea, a plan, the threatened person doesn't celebrate with you. They don't attack you either. They minimize. They change the subject. They respond with a short, flat acknowledgement and immediately pivot to something about themselves. It sounds like nothing. That's why it works. In the 1950s, psychoanalyst Melanie Klein described a defense mechanism she called devaluation. When a person encounters something that makes them feel inadequate, they unconsciously reduce the perceived value of that thing, not because they've analyzed it, because their ego demands it. You see this in high-performing environments constantly. The colleague who responds to your promotion with, "Yeah, that department's been struggling anyway." The friend who hears about your new relationship and immediately lists the red flags they claim to see. They're not warning you, they're protecting themselves. The threat you pose is your progress, and their dismissal is their only available defense. Watch for the pattern across multiple interactions. A single flat response means nothing. A consistent pattern of minimizing your wins while amplifying their own is the signature of someone quietly destabilized by your presence. The second sign is unsolicited competition. This one is neurological before it's behavioral. When a human brain perceives a social threat, meaning someone who outranks them in status, attractiveness, competence, or confidence, the amygdala registers it the same way it registers a physical threat. The body prepares to respond. For most people, that response doesn't come out as confrontation. It comes out as competition they never announced they were entering. You mention a goal, they immediately have a bigger one. You share a skill. They list 3 skills that surpass it. You achieve something. They remind you of something they achieved first. This isn't healthy ambition. Healthy ambition is inspired by others. This is reactive positioning. The person is instinctively trying to re-establish dominance in a hierarchy they feel slipping. Robert Greene documented this dynamic extensively. He noted that in competitive environments, the most dangerous opponent is never the one who openly challenges you. It's the one who redefines the game so they can win a different version of it. What makes this sign particularly useful is what it tells you about your own trajectory. Nobody competes with someone they don't consider a threat. Nobody scrambles to outperform someone they've already dismissed. When you see this pattern in someone, understand what they're actually saying without words. They see you, and they're worried. The third sign is the backhanded compliment, and the fourth is deliberate exclusion. These two often travel together, so understanding them together makes them clearer. The backhanded compliment is a verbal precision tool. It delivers a surface-level positive while embedding a negative underneath. You're so confident for someone without much experience. That's impressive, honestly. I didn't think you had it in you. The syntax gives them deniability. If you react, you seem oversensitive. If you don't react, the wound still lands. Linguists call this a face-threatening act with a false positive wrapper. Psychologically, it serves a very specific function. It allows the threatened person to acknowledge your value while simultaneously trying to diminish it, all without risking open conflict. Deliberate exclusion works differently. It's quieter. You notice you're the last to know about things. Plans that include people around you, but not you. Information that seems to reach everyone except you. Opportunities mentioned to others in your presence, but not offered to you directly. This is covert social sabotage. It requires effort. People don't accidentally forget you consistently. When someone feels threatened by you, removing you from opportunities is a strategic, if unconscious, move. Both of these behaviors have the same practical counter. Don't shrink. Don't overreact. Name the pattern internally, not aloud, and use it as intelligence. The person doing this has shown you their hand. They've revealed that your presence costs them something. That is not a weakness in you. That is data about your value. The fifth sign is the one that closes the loop on everything I opened with. It's the one most people get completely wrong. The fifth sign is excessive praise with no follow-through. Someone who is genuinely threatened by you will sometimes overcorrect. They'll compliment you loudly and publicly. They'll call you talented, driven, exceptional, and then do absolutely nothing to support you. No referrals, no advocacy behind closed doors, no action, just words, offered strategically in moments where others are watching. This is the behavior that got the answer wrong at the beginning. You asked yourself why someone seemed resistant to you. You assumed it was your fault. What you didn't account for is that some people perform admiration as a mask for inaction. Their public praise protects their reputation for being supportive, while their private inaction ensures you receive no real advantage from the relationship. Here is the reframe. Every sign on this list is a form of tribute. Dismissal, competition, backhanded words, exclusion, hollow praise. These are all responses to something real in you. You cannot trigger a threat response in someone who considers you irrelevant. Irrelevant people are ignored. Threatened people are managed. If people around you are managing your perception, managing your access, managing the narrative around you, they are not ignoring you. They are afraid of what happens if they stop watching you. Stop misreading resistance as rejection. Start reading it as recognition. The 5 signs are the dismissal, the unsolicited competition, the backhanded compliment, the deliberate exclusion, and the hollow public praise that never becomes action. Each one is a signal. Each one is information. Your job is to receive it clearly, not emotionally. If this gave you a new lens on someone in your life, leave it in the comments. I read them. And if this kind of knowledge is what you're after, the real mechanics of human behavior, the patterns hiding in plain sight, subscribe. This is what we do here. Every week, no noise, just the things that actually matter. I'll see you in the shadows.